would put these up against real brownies. This is something you're gonna wanna make and hide immediately. Welcome back to the Anabolic Hub, where we make anabolic deliciousness. We're back inside my kitchen today doing another original recipe, fudge protein brownies. Oh my goodness. If you love brownies, if you love chocolate, this is gonna be the brownie for you, no doubt in my mind. Took a few iterations, but man, if you're doing any kind of shredding plan, any kind of weight loss plan, any kind of main gaining plan, this is gonna be something you're gonna wanna add into your meal prep today. It is that good. Let's get things started with no further ado by having a look at the ingredients. Here we go. All-purpose flour, chocolate flavored casein protein powder, swerve, granular, cocoa powder, salt, baking powder. I can't believe it's not butter. The light one. Non-fat, plain Greek yogurt, ricotta cheese, part skim, vanilla extract, sugar-free chocolate chips. So we have another one of those recipes where we're mixing together some dry ingredients, mixing together some wet ingredients, and combining the two for some anabolic deliciousness. We're gonna get things started by mixing together our dry ingredients first. First one that we need is going to be 75 grams of our all-purpose flour. 75 grams in. Next, we have 75 grams of our chocolate flavored casein protein powder, pre-measured and of course on the money, going in. Next up, we have 35 grams of our swerve granular. In it goes. Then we need 15 grams of our cocoa baking powder. 15 grams on the money. Then we need 1 teaspoon of the baking powder. 1 leveled off teaspoon in. And then the one ingredient to rule them all, 1 teaspoon of our salt. 1 leveled off teaspoon of the salt, spreading it in. And then of course, after all of our dry ingredients are in, we sift. Sifting, begin. Again, don't sleep on it, just sift it. Dry ingredients, done. Now it's time to mix together our wet ingredients, and the first one's going to be 42 grams of the I can't believe it's not butter, the light one. Negative scale trick, of course. $42 grams, on the money. Next, we need 150 grams of the non-fat Greek yogurt, plain, of course. And with what's left on the spoon, we have 150 grams in. And then it's time for our magical ingredient. We're going to use 30 grams of the ricotta cheese, part skim. $30 grams in. Next is 8 grams of the vanilla extract. 8 grams on the money. And our last wet ingredient isn't quite wet yet. We gotta put it in the microwave for about 30 to 45 seconds. We're gonna melt up 30 grams of the chocolate chips, or any chocolate, as long as it's sugar-free. And after you take out your chocolate chips, it may not seem like they're melted, but I assure you, after 45 seconds, they should be pretty melted. If you just give them a stir, you'll probably see that they turn right into liquid. And once you get one nice smooth consistency, add it into the wet ingredients. After you have your melted chocolate chips in there, just give everything one stir. Not too harsh of a stir, just nice and easy to get it all incorporated, but don't stir it too hard. Short interlude here, just to remind you to smash the like button, comment down below which is better, brownies or cookies. You gotta have a go-to. Which one is it? You choose. Brownies or cookies. Let me know. Now, go. All right, back to the video. Once it's mostly incorporated, you are done and ready to add in the dry ingredients in 3 separate batches. Batch number 1. Batch number 2. And batch number 3. Depending on the thickness of your casein protein powder, you may need to add some moisture with some almond milk. So I would say add up to 50 grams of almond milk if you can. You can also use water, but I find that almond milk just gives a better flavor. So let's put that in now, help provide a little bit more moisture for this. And once you have a nice consistent batter, everything's well incorporated, you're ready to fold in 30 more grams of your chocolate chips. 30 grams pre-measured and on the money, of course. And once you have all your chocolate chips folded in, you're ready to go over to your baking pan, spray it down with some nonstick spray, and add in the batter. High capacity nonstick spray loaded. Fire away. And we just add in the batter. You just want to work the batter into the pan, spread it out nice and even, corners to corners. One neat little trick to spread this around is to put some non-stick cooking spray on your hands, and then you can kind of pat it down and flatten it out much easier than just using a spoon. Then once you have it all evenly dispersed across the pan, you're ready to put it into the oven, which we're going to do at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius. We're going to cook it for 20 to 25 minutes. Depending on how gooey you like your brownies, you'd want to cook it on the shorter end, more towards the 20 minutes. I feel like I'm a little more solid. 25 minutes is going to be the way to go. And of course, we always get a little dirty in our videos. No exception here. Okay, let's get this ready to put in the oven. I just took the brownies out at exactly 20 minutes. They smell delicious. And now comes the key part in the recipe here. You have to let this cool completely before you cut into it. I repeat, let it cool completely before you cut into it. If you cut into it now or you only wait 5 or 10 minutes, it's going to be very soggy in the middle. You need to let these cool and solidify, and they will taste just like real brownies with all the anabolic deliciousness that these particular ones contain. 20 plus minutes, we'll cut it up, and then it's over to the taste test table. We're back at the taste test table, and oh my goodness, these fudge protein brownies that lay in front of me here smell delicious. I cannot believe how much protein is in every one of these and how good they taste. It's incredible. All the chocolate chips that are on top and folded in, plus our melted chocolate that's in there, really gives it that fudgy taste. So rich in chocolate, oh my goodness. Look at that, unbelievable. I didn't think it was possible to get a protein brownie to look like a real brownie, to taste like a real brownie, to have the same texture as a real brownie. This took more attempts on any recipe than I've done, even the chocolate chip cookies, and that took a lot of iterations. This one took even longer than that, but I think now the set of ingredients are just right. The key is going to be in letting them cool for long enough before you cut into them. It gives them the perfect amount of texture, the perfect amount of moisture. But with no further ado, let's dive into the taste test. After all, we are at the taste test table, so we can't digress for too long before we choose one and give it a whirl. So let's do it. Let's see, I'm gonna go with this one here. Look at how the fudginess and the chocolate in there. I've already had them, I'm very excited to have them again. Let's go, here it is. Oh man. I still get surprised. I've had protein brownies in the past, and if you've tried them too, it tastes just like taking a bite out of a chocolate protein shake. Perfect ratio of ingredients. Just enough of the all-purpose flour to give it that right texture. Just enough of the protein powder where it's not gonna come out too cakey. Oh man, so good. I would put these up against real brownies side by side and dare someone to say which is which. They're that good. Sometimes when you're doing these anabolic recipes, you come up with something, you call it a cookie or you call it a brownie, and then you make it and you try it and it just tastes like something totally different or just something that must be health food. This is one of those things, you think you're eating an actual brownie. Texture's spot on, the sweetness is spot on, the chocolatiness is spot on. And if you love chocolate, this is a little slice of heaven for you right here. It's not spongy at all. We didn't use any egg whites for that reason. I keep trying these recipes with the egg whites, but always ends up being way too spongy. It doesn't have the right texture, but these ingredients all come together great. Again, I think that magical ingredient is really the ricotta cheese. It seems to be the one thing that once I add into a recipe, seems to make everything perfect. Just adding in a little bit, I think does a lot for the flavor, for the texture, kind of smooths out some of that protein powdery taste, just makes it more of a real food. The good part about melting some of the chocolate chips too and mixing it in with the wet ingredients allows you to get that chocolatey flavor within the entire batch of brownies. Sometimes if you use just chocolate chips, there'll be some bites where you get the chocolate chip and you're like, oh, that was really good. Other times you miss the chocolate chip and you're like, ah, well, tasted all right. Here it's completely even across the board. If you mix the ingredients appropriately, you're gonna get chocolate in every single bite of brownie that you have here. All right, guys, I'm gonna flash up the macros here so you can see them. Again, shocker, I did 8 brownies. Surprise, surprise. That's my favorite number when I'm making these anabolic baked goods. But across these 8 cookies, look at how much protein you get in each one. Man, you could have 2 or 3 of these probably, and you'd be fine for a snack, depending on what your calorie needs are. Be a perfect fit for any shredding plan. You're trying to lose weight, you're trying to kill those cravings off. This is another one of those recipes that's gonna do just that. Not only is it anabolic, but it tastes fantastic. Just like that, one's gone. I think I'm gonna reload on the other end here. If you make these and you have a significant other, you have a family, you got friends you're living with, don't tell them. You better hide these somewhere in the kitchen, because as soon as they take a bite of one and they find out what's in it, forget it. You're not gonna have any for yourself. This is something you're gonna wanna make and hide immediately. Heavenly. Heavenly, heavenly, heavenly. Anabolic heavenliness. You guys gotta try them. If you do, definitely let me know in the comment section. I'm curious to find out how they come out for you, how you think they taste. I think you're gonna love them, but please let me know. I got about 1.5 brownies down, and I'm starting to feel full, but I could very easily see myself sitting down and trying to finish all these. It's not gonna happen because along with the willpower, these are also pretty dense. You guys saw the amount of protein in them, so it shouldn't be a problem, but either way, I gotta get up out of here. It's getting to be that time, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.